My prospects was projects on some lunacy shit. Now I'm loving, living, losing, no cooler than this. I'm a goddess, not a woman. They're like, who is this bitch? She a mama, water, rebirth, the second witch. Why don't I never told me cold in the mic, just a glitch. I keep my circles sacred, small, I'm a frequency lit. My soul came into this world with magnificent gift. Memphis grown, I embody crazy hustle and grit. It's an arrow releasing shit, I ain't gotta fade. Whoa, they can't compete in the glow. What they don't know can't touch though. I've been walking through the fire, came out dripping, came out higher. Oh, got it, can't do my life. Angels are walking with me every night. Oh, got it, I'm doing alright. Ain't terrorist within my second sight. Oh God, yeah, watch him do live. Fix magic into my eyes. Oh God, yeah, no disguise, just a clean eyes. Oh God, yeah, no disguise, just a clean. My altar burning slow. Libations for the ones who ain't make it out the door. I honor every struggle, every sacrifice they made. So I could walk in power, never scared, never afraid. My intuition was born, I listen when she speaks. She taught me that my soul is ain't no weakness, it's mistake. I'm moving my authority, don't ask for permission. The patriarchy shook, cause I'm breaking tradition. I'm redefining woman on my own damn terms. Every lesson life gave me, I finally learned. That fixing ain't for purpose, taking ain't my role. I'm just a vessel for the light. No God is in control. I'm a water in my water, ices in my bones, ocean in my laughter, Lilith in my throne. I carry all their wisdom, every tear they ever cried. So when I walk into a room, the ancestors glide inside. Oh God, can't do my life, can't do my ancestors walking with me every night. Oh Christ, I'm going on again. Oh God, yes, watch me rise. Peace, y'all. Oh God, yes, just a queen, claiming of Christ. So, I don't know who I'm attracting today. So, welcome whoever you are. I am an Akashic record reader. I'm someone who's been doing this for a really long time. And I've been predicting the future publicly since 2006. You can find all of the links to find me everywhere that I am in my bio. It's not going to just allow me to put all my links there. So once you click on it and look, it's going to lead you to my website. And my website has everywhere that I am. Okay. So my YouTube channel has over 2 million views on the channel itself, but the numbers are going to seem low if you've never been there. Just go and check it out at some other time. My point in saying this is to say I am one of the most accurate oracles, which is a psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant, all of those things. Okay. So I have done thousands of readings for people. I've never had a client that was not getting what they needed. And my reputation precedes me. So I'm not here to convince you of anything. I do this from the heart. And, you know, share the live if you know people who are into this. But this is what I do. And I'm considering doing past life readings. I haven't made the final decision yet. But there are some people who have been with me for a really long time, and those people are probably going to be the first people that I'm going to make this service available to. However, I wanted to get on here today because there's a portal open today. Today is 7/7. 7/7 happens to be one of the numbers that followed me throughout my lifetime. Today is a portal day, which means what you invest your energy into today is going to determine a lot of the things that are going to be created as a ripple effect from today. So let's see how accurate what I'm saying is. If you know what dowsing rods are, or if you don't, I'm going to tell you briefly. Dowsing rods help to get answers. Dowsing rods can help you find water when you are needing to find water. Dowsing rods can help you identify things that can be eaten and that are toxic and poisonous and should not be eaten. This is an ancient technology. This is not new. It's not woo-woo. It's not made up. I have been using these for probably about 6 or 7 years now, and they are always accurate. So I'm going to ask, is there a portal open today for people to walk through so that you can access a timeline that reflects the person that you're becoming and not the traumatized version of you that you've had to be to survive? So let's see. For me, I'm going to do this with you, but I already know, but I want you all to see because I can't manipulate this. Show me a yes. That's a yes. Thank you. Neutral. Show me a no. That's a no. Now, I have really, really long dowsing rods. So I have to lean back so that I don't hit myself in the face because y'all not going to be up here laughing at me. But if you can see, my hands are not moving. Okay? So now that you see what a yes is and what a no is, I'm going to ask a question that we know the answer to and see if it's accurate. And if you don't know how to use dowsing rods, you can order these on my website. And it's really simple and you can learn how to use these yourself. Is my birth name Kamsen? Yes. That's a yes. Am I a Caucasian woman who is wearing a wig and a black mask? No. I don't know where that question came from. It's just the first thing that came to my mind. Okay. Is 7/7 a palindrome number which alchemically opens a portal to jump onto a new timeline? Yes. Y'all see this? Thank you. Neutral. My hand's not moving. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something. With a lot of what's happening in the world right now, it's going to be this old ancient technology that is going to help us. If I was in a situation where I needed to find food or water, 1000%, this is what I would use. I would trust this over anybody. This and animals. Okay? When I eat food, my body is really sensitive to food. I check on my dowsing rods, and it has helped me to manage my health by not eating things that are going to trigger my body. It could be something that everybody says is good for you, but it may not be good for your body. Okay? These are on sale on my website. I'm going to close my website down. I've been saying this for a while, but I'm waiting because I keep being told that there are people who have just not found you yet. But these are on sale on my website. Okay? So it don't matter what you believe in.
It don't matter where you come from. Don't none of that matter. Your answers are going to be based on kinesiology. Okay? Kinesiology is the subconscious mind connecting to the ethers to give answers. So this is why these answers are accurate. So if I ask this to show me stress fractures in my house, I hope y'all know what stress fractures are. Those are areas of your house that create illness and mental instability, and it breaks holes in your aura that allow entities to attach to you. Stress lines or stress fractures in our homes is the reason why you may feel one way in one room and a different way in another room. The dowsing rods is how you can find those stress lines in your house. Mama Earth is a grid like a computer system. So knowing where you are laying your head down at night is where I would say to start. And ask it, is there a stress line where my bed is positioned? It is recommended that you do not sleep with your head pointed to the south. This exposes you to astral entities. So before we can talk anything about energy healing, there are some basic things, premises that you must know to be able to protect yourself spiritually. Now, in our home, we had stress lines that were in a lot of different places, and we also had portals in our home when we first bought our house. So if you're living somewhere where other people lived there before you, it is very likely that they have energy attached to that place. And if you are energetically in tune, it could be affecting you in a positive or negative way. So I use these to find these parts in our home and to correct it. And the way that you correct it is using copper. These are made of copper. You correct it using copper. You lay down a copper piece of copper, probably about this long. You lay it down where those stress lines are, and it eliminates the stress lines. So, just so you all can see what a real oracle does, I'm going to show you so that you don't have to take my word for it. Is what I'm speaking about actually accurate? Yes. My hands are not moving. This ain't wood. It ain't made up. It's how indigenous cultures survive. So if you ever wonder why we know what fruits and vegetables we can and can't eat, this is one of the reasons why. Okay? This is kinesiology. If your body is sensitive to food, if your body is sensitive to energy, if your body is sensitive to people, this is something really good to have. If you have children and stuff is going on with them, if they're having nightmares, if they're having difficulty at school, if you're just noticing their energy seems different, this is a great way to figure out what's happening with your children as well. You can also check your chakras with these. So before I went live, I made sure that I burned benzoin, which is a resin. And that resin comes from trees. Trees hold ancestral knowledge of the entire earth and all of the DNA on the earth because we exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen with trees. So trees are the original towers. I'm not going to call them 5G towers because they are multidimensional, but they are the original Wi-Fi towers. They collect and hold information that's happening on the planet. Because we exchange our breath with trees and they feed us oxygen, we are in a symbiotic relationship with trees. So when you burn resin, when you burn benzoin, you are releasing the energy from the trees into your home. I did that before I went live. There's a process of things that I do. But these things is the reason that I am able to be protected and I'm able to be tapped in. I know that there are thousands of other people on here because I got on here last night and could not believe how many people were talking about spiritual things, spiritual hygiene, tarot cards, astrology, oracle cards, divination. I was like, whoa. I didn't even know people was into this. When I first started doing this, I was considered a weirdo. And a lot of people called me fake until my reputation preceded me. Okay? So I'm going to ask about chakras and we're going to see if this is accurate. It is a lot. And it's a little unnerving. Okay? There are a lot of really gifted people in this world, but depending on how much trauma work they have done, that determines what type of energies and entities operate in their aura. And when you exchange your energy with people, you are also accessible to whatever entities they are working with. And unless you just feel a resonance or you have your own form of divination or you're clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, you don't always know what you're getting. And even somebody like me, I have had people trick me. So it can happen to anybody. So it is a little unnerving to see so many people, but I predicted that this was going to happen and it's happened exactly like I said that it would. Um this my album playing in the background, y'all. Is hold up. Let me just hold on. Hold on. This song right here is just it's a whole Akashic download. It's time to spread love to heal our mind. It's our design, we don't need no religion. Because it binds functionary, a canary in the coal mine, ancestors on the main line. Hey, hey, I ain't for the many, 'cause I'm ready for the few. Pretty saints. Okay. We are plenty, we are truth. Okay. I had to let y'all hear that a little bit. You can tell I'm an artist like to the heart because that shit just hit different. That shit I could have just went live and just played my album for y'all, and y'all would have got an activation. That shit knocking though. I'm really grateful that I had these gifts. So as I was saying peace, I saw one of my sacred sisters on here. So let me say this. If you have ever gotten a reading from me, if you have ever bought a potion from me, and I don't make these all the time. Thank you, Satin Kush. I like that name. I don't make a lot of these. But you see this right here? This not just a lot of stuff dropped in here and I sell it and say it's a potion. My shit works. Okay? My shit works. And this is why I'm not always selling it. Okay? My shit is powerful. And I like y'all literally probably just now meeting me just now on that little bit that I told y'all. That's not even 1% of what I have been able to access in the Akashic records. But there are ceremonies that I do on the astral plane before I make potions, before I write my music, before I'm even learning how to produce my own beats and stuff. Like my album, that's all me figuring out how to do these things. I don't have a producer, none of that. I got a cousin who helps me and he's dope as hell. But I did this on my own. Saying that to say this, magic is something that we are all capable of, but we are all in different dimensions of accessing these gifts. So for like Leslie, I think Leslie, I saw you pop up here. Total Flame. Okay, Ashe, I see you. So it's some people that will tell you they know me, and I've been around for a long time, and I've been consistent. You will never hear anything about me that's negative and it's gonna be fact. Never. And the reason that is because I move in integrity. Y'all, moving in integrity is not, that's not a flex. That's a heavy responsibility. I'm trusted with people's secrets. You know, and I've had people going through some really difficult things, and I've met them in that space and helped them through that space. So this is who I am, and this is what I do. So back to the chakras. This album is so fucking dope. Y'all gotta go. My album is streaming on all platforms. It's called Protecting My Peace by Camson, my name. Y'all need to go listen to that. That shit right there is an activation, because it was through the music that our chakras got all fucked up in the first place. Y'all do realize that chakras operate through a harmonic convergence, right? And so the music that we grew up on, 50s, 60s, 70s, for those of us that like jazz was chaos when jazz first came out, because people were learning how to take the chaos from the world and then we're learning how to transmute it. But music got weaponized. As we moved into the 60s and the 70s, early 80s, something started to change. When the 90s hit, hip hop hit, something started to change. We were still bumping that shit, but we all knew that something was different. And so what we're seeing now is what happens when music is weaponized. Okay? This is the reason why the music now we're not really feeling it anymore. So when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's just certain shit you can't listen to. And it's a lot of music that I try to listen to and I just cannot listen to it. And I was like, you know what? Ain't nobody talking about shit. Like, can this shit be bumping and you actually be talking about something that I can relate to, something that's gonna help elevate me, something that's gonna help me manage this anxiety that I feel as an empath, something that's gonna help me as somebody who I deal with depression, and it ain't no fucking shame about it. It's no shame about it. I have days where I don't shower. I have days where I don't eat. Like, I have days where just shit is happening inside of my nervous system, and nobody was really making music that connected to any of those things. And I'm like, what is the purpose? It's no purpose. And I kept waiting year after year after year, hoping that people would start to catch on and start making music like this. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna make the music. Why am I sitting here waiting on somebody else to do it? I know how to do this, right? Have to listen to the old stuff. Yes. So this music on this album is just the beginning. I'm just now getting started. I've been very transparent about my challenges. And so it's because of those things I can't go as hard as I would like to. I'm definitely a workaholic. I'm definitely a perfectionist. And I fucking love what I do. I fucking love people. Like, people have hurt me so bad, and it has not damaged my love for people. It hasn't damaged my capacity to be in service. So yeah, so I'm making music. I got ancestor music, like everything spiritually you want to tap into, it's on that album. This is a 10-year in numerology. My album has 10 songs on it, and it has sigils embedded into it, activations embedded into it. And if you leave from listening to my music and you don't feel a shift happen, I'm gonna be really surprised. I'm gonna be really surprised. So I put blood, sweat, and tears into that. But I wanna talk about past lives and why that's so important. Can y'all hear this pretty good? Give me a moment, because I'm gonna feel what I'm supposed to say to y'all. And I need a moment to do that. Like a spiritual Bugatti. Somatic exorcism deleting from my body. I reclaim all the fuck that I gave on the back. I return all the fuck, giving up the body in the platter. At the end of the day, the 3D matrix is trash. Violators and haters is exposed and they don't last. We don't crash out. We cashing in on ascension, we don't burn down. We rebuilding a vision, we don't run, we don't hide. We the ones who gon' ride. We go sliding through the age of Aquarius like, who am I? Who am I? I'm the cycle breaker, soul healer, no realer. I'm organic, I exist with no filler. We don't crash out. We cashing in on ascension, we don't burn down. We rebuilding a vision, we don't run, we don't hide. We the ones who gon' ride. We go sliding through the age of Aquarius like, who am I? Who am I? I'm the cycle breaker, soul healer, no realer. I'm organic, I exist
surface with no filler. I tried to like me, but my mind is fighting, and old me is dying, and a child is crying. I know that I'm the rebirth walking. Dark, there's no evil. I am the beginning of a new era. 10x, sacred above error, we healing this trauma. Forgiving your mamas, forgiving your daddies. We don't want no drama, birthing our down. We cashing in on ascension, we don't burn down. We rebuilding a vision, we don't run, we don't hide. We the ones who gon' ride, we go slide into the age of Aquarius like who.
So y'all just get a little feeling of the type of shit that I'm talking about and what I'm on. Okay. So I use a lot of different things, Satin Kush, to get the sound that I want. I've been playing with a lot of different softwares, actually. Okay. So let me say this. Recently, we heard about CERN shutting off. And this still is connected to the chakras. Because your chakras is what give you access to different dimensions of consciousness, different frequencies, different levels of experience. And I'm not going to teach a whole chakra course because I've been doing this for so many years. And if y'all late to me, like, you can subscribe to my Patreon. If you're in a tight spot financially, I have a free tier as well. And I teach a lot of different things on there. But let me just say this. We have to remember that we are portals as well. Okay? We are portals as well. Your chakras are vortices that are based on a harmonic convergence. When we learn alphabets as young children before the ego was developed, what that did was it anchored us into the 3D density of consciousness. This is why a lot of the things that we could do when we were kids, like the way that we believed in ourselves when we were kids, I swear to you, if I jumped off top of the bunk bed, I could land in slow motion because I really fucking believed that I could. I know I'm not the only one. We would tie sheets and shit around our back and run, and we really felt like we was doing some shit. We just had this childlike faith as children. And throughout the process of growing up, something destroyed our ability to believe in ourselves. And you can feel that doubt and you can feel that voice. So the alphabet is a frequency code lockdown. And I'm in the process of decoding the entire alphabet based on quantum physics and simulation, metaphysics, sacred geometry, and your own chakras. I'm creating a system. Now, I have already written ebooks. I already have courses. But when I download information from the Akashic Records, that's the shit that I can say to you here. Because it's a lot of shit that I cannot say to you on this platform and no other platform. I just found a platform where I might be able to say the shit that I cannot say to y'all here. So y'all need to stay locked into me if that's something that you want to be a part of. Because I give so much for free. My ebooks right now are like $10. I got ebooks for men and for women on this journey. So with that being said, most of the information you will hear from me is not going to be in somebody else's book. Now, I have studied many of the best metaphysicians, scholars, quantum physicists, people like Dan Winter, and he talks about implosion, bliss. He talks about emotions, the frequency, and how to tune those frequencies. He talks about how before we incarnate here as souls, a lot of us pre-existed as beings in other galaxies and other planets, and also as stars. And a lot of us, when we leave our bodies, we go back to the cosmic hierarchy, okay? So a lot of what we call stars are actually ancestors and ascended masters. We also have assigned to each one of us as our souls, we have matrons and patrons, which are deities, which are archetypal frequencies that have their own mythology that's going to be really similar to the challenges that you're going to go through. Now, I'm somebody who specializes in shadow work. I specialize in trauma. This gift is not always fun. This gift can be heavy. Sometimes last night, I was overwhelmed with grief and sadness out of the blue. And I'm constantly doing clearings on my own chakras. Now, I'm going to ask my dowsing rods because I want you all to see the level of integrity that I want to be normalized. In the spiritual community, we have to normalize having integrity, being transparent, and being fucking honest. Yes, we have to eat too. Yes, we need to make money. No, this is not what we do for fun. This is a job. It is a business for a lot of us. But we cannot allow the scarcity system that the 3D matrix is activating in us right now to make us no longer move in integrity. Okay, that's going to take us backwards on the timeline. And that's not what we're here to do. All right. So let me ask my dowsing rods. Is what I'm saying actually accurate? Yes. Thank you. Are the souls here? I'm gonna probably give 20 more minutes. Are there any souls here who are ready to unlock past life experiences? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Are there people here who are not ready to unlock their past life experiences? Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So y'all see it for yourself. I can't make those give me the answers that I want them to give me. Okay. While CERN is shut off, right now we're going to have more access to alternate versions of ourselves, which do include previous incarnations. Whether you study African cosmology, ancient Kemet cosmology, Hinduism, Kabbalah, all across the board, there are always similarities in all of the teachings. The Hopi, the Mayan, the Aztecs, the list goes on and on. There will always be things that are similar in each spiritual cosmology that you study, and there's a reason for that. Now, while CERN is off, you may notice that time is moving different. While CERN was up and operating, time was moving much faster. Days felt more like a blur. Now you may notice time is slower. You may think that it's later than what it really is. You may be at work, and usually by the time you get hungry, it's 3 o'clock. And now you're looking at your phone or your clock or whatever, and it's 12 o'clock. And you're like, damn, it usually be 3 o'clock by the time I get hungry. It's just now 12 o'clock. Pay attention to those things, because the human body is a tuning system. It's an antenna. And for those of us who are empathic, for those of us who feel energy, for those of us who are hypersensitive, where my hypersensitive people at? Where my people at who can feel when somebody is upset with you or disappointed in you, and they may not be anywhere around you, and you can still feel it. And when you finally talk to them, you find out whatever it was, and you was right over and over again. Where my people at who can feel tension in the room, though you don't even know what has happened or what conversation has been had. Where my people at? Okay, I'm calling up my people. Where my people at who dream about shit and then it happens, and you'd be like, yo, that's wild, like I dreamed about that shit. Okay, these are my people. Where my people at who have been misunderstood most of their lives, and even when you try to explain something to people, it almost seems like there's interference and people have a difficult time perceiving you for who you really are. And so this leads to people assuming things about you, projecting their beliefs onto you, and then probably being disappointed when you don't align with that. Where my people at? Ashe, I see you, Special K. Thank y'all for the hearts. I don't ask for hearts and hit that like, and if you don't hit that like, you're going to have to leave up out of here because I don't want nobody in here who's not going to appreciate my energy. I see some people come like that, and I get it. I feel it. I know where it's coming from, but I appreciate when y'all give me likes, hearts, gifts, whatever. I don't know what none of this shit do. People be having stickers and shit. I don't be paying attention to this shit like this, y'all. This is how deep I be in the spiritual work, that a lot of this 3D stuff, it's a blur to me. All right. Okay, so I'm calling up my people. So now this CERN is shut off. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You're going to feel things more strongly than you have been feeling them. Even if you have been sensitive to energy your whole life, hear me when I say this, and it don't even matter what your natal chart is. No matter what your sun, moon, and rising is, okay? No matter what your north node and south node is. None of that is going to matter because as an oracle, I'm speaking to the collective from the Akashic records. That's a different type of frequency. So this is going to resonate with who it's meant to resonate with. But you're going to feel more sensitive. When your feelings get hurt, that shit is going to hurt and it's going to really sting. And you're going to be like, wow, I thought that I've been working on myself. Why is stuff still hurting my feelings? I don't want to feel like a fragile piece of china all day long. Like, damn, like, why can't I be like other people who just don't give a fuck? I would like to be like that. It seems like it's relaxing on that side, right? Maybe I care too much, you know? Things hurt us. People's tone, it hurt us. The way people look at us, micro expressions, that's a whole fucking paragraph to us. You give me one look, and that is a whole entire paragraph. One fucking look. This is my people, all right? Where my people at who grew up, and you had experiences growing up that you probably don't even talk to people about. Because you know most people probably didn't have those experiences and are going to think that you're weird. They're not going to believe you. They're going to think that you're crazy. You don't tell doctors because they might say that you're schizophrenic and try to put your ass on medication. So you just kind of learn to just be quiet and let me just not say nothing. Let me just pretend like I'm a normie. I'm just going to do the NPC thing. Beep, bop, wake up, go to work, shower, eat dinner, come home, breakfast, and do it over again. Right? So now the CERN is off. The timeline manipulation that was happening is stopped. This is the great pause that we're in right now. The astrology right now is very implosive with the conjunctions between Aries, Neptune, Saturn, all of that Mars warrior energy. It's a lot of air and fire energy happening right now. This is why so many countries are doing things that could potentially lead to major wars. It's the energy. The last time Neptune was in Aries, we had the Civil War. This is 250 years for the United States. These things are not coincidental. Planets are basically clocks, and they hold and anchor potential moments to happen in what we call human history. So this is a test for us, okay? Are we going to go into a civil war at this time externally? Who knows? But are you in a civil war with yourself? Are your thoughts aligning with your heart? Are you struggling with your attention span, with stuff that you know will be beneficial for you, but it's just hard for you to lock in? Are you finding yourself looking for a distraction, doom scrolling, needing to keep yourself busy, or too fucking tired to do anything? but it's a knowing because you see stuff around you that need to get done. And it's hard to do it. There are a lot of different ways this could be showing up for us. But because our nervous system got so used to the timeline manipulation, now it kind of feels like the calm before the storm. It feels like something is going to happen and you can't quite put your finger on what it is. But at the same time, you keep attracting messages saying that you must heal your nervous system. This is what happens when you live in survival mode. This is what happens when you have childhood trauma that hasn't been integrated yet. This is how you feel. This is why you feel burnout. This is why you ruminate on negative conversations and interactions. This is why you find yourself thinking of ways to fight, flight, flee, fawn, whichever one freeze you go into. I mean, the 4 Fs, they fuck with us. And right now, because time is settling, things are kind of like CERN was like shaking the timelines up. Mandela effects just kept happening, shit happening, and all of a sudden it's stillness. We're being overstimulated with technology and the devices and the frequencies. So stillness doesn't always feel good to a nervous system that had adapted to the way it was. So now that we're moving into this energy, I don't want to put anybody into fear. But the next 4 years are going to be some of the most challenging years that this planet has ever seen. And if you're feeling something, you're probably feeling that. So in this moment, your narrative, the inner dialogue, the things that are automated, there's a part of the mind that is reptilian. That part of the mind is the part of the mind that operates when we're in survival mode. This is why you can know what you're supposed to do, but when the opportunity presents itself, that's not what you do. You go into an automated mode. And then you think about it later and you like, why didn't I say that? Or why did I do that? Or why did I fucking say that? Like that's not even the version of me that I want to be anymore. Why do I let people trigger me and I get out of the character that I've been cultivating? Like, what the fuck? Like, why does this keep happening to me? So if this is resonating with you, know that the Civil War is actually between your 3D avatar, which is your ego, and your soul. That's where the Civil War is going to happen. So are you going to move like your soul, or are you going to move like your 3D avatar, your ego? And it is not easy. Trust and believe. Because as I'm sitting here saying this to you, I had something happen to me earlier today, and I almost crashed the fuck out. And I'm somebody that pride myself on being able to regulate my nervous system and be a safe person emotionally. That's sexy to me. That's attractive to me. For me to be in control of myself. You know, that's the new turn on. That's the new sexy. Like, that's what we're attracted to. This is why this whole personal development, self-mastery, self-realization, self-deification. There are different facets of this healing work that we're here to do on ourselves, and everybody ain't doing this. Some people just want to be distracted. And whatever it is that we put the most attention and energy into is the reality that we're going to create. Okay? So you're going to have people that are going to step into your field and challenge you. If you have children, your children are going to challenge you. I don't know if anybody else here got Gen Alpha children, but them Gen Alpha children are built different. Okay? They are built very different. I don't think they would have survived being raised the way Gen X was raised. Okay? It was a certain level of resilience we had to have to survive. However, Gen Alpha, their souls came here at the time where they never experienced analog. from the time that they came out the womb, they've been bombarded with digital energy. So their nervous systems are shaped different. And this means that the brain neurologically is wired different. This is why they can't survive getting whooped, getting beatings, all that shit that we went through, and we still standing. They not built like that. We have to learn gentle parenting. We have to learn, okay, is my child showing me a sign of autism? Maybe this is ADHD. Maybe this is depression, you know? And be willing to take them to people that can help them and teach us how to be with them. This is what shifts timelines. It's the energy that you bring into the way you interact with your world. This is how you shift timelines. There are people, thank you. I felt that. Some of y'all are very compassionate people, and you are just feeling like you have not been able to be your real self and your whole self. And I feel you. I just felt you. I get that. So let me talk about the importance of past lives. The DNA that they call junk DNA is actually the script from your past lives. The script from our past lives has been encoded and locked away. They've been trying to get access to it, and they haven't been able to, because the amount of wisdom, the amount of ancestral intelligence that's inside of that part of our DNA script will break us free of a lot of the things that are creating suffering and creating patterns that we don't want to be in anymore. That's what junk DNA really is. Okay? It holds the things that you learn in past lives. Some of us have past lives where we were the most highly sought after energy healers. How does that show up today? You could be watching a movie, and you see this woman or this man in this movie just knowing how to move their hands in certain ways to heal energy. It could even be anime. And that shit just make you emotional. You just start feeling like, I've done this before. Like, I fucking feel like I can do this. Something inside of me feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. This is how you know when a past life is doing this. It's knocking. It's trying to get your attention. And when you know what healing work to do on yourself, your past life, the wisdom, the stuff that you went through, the betrayal, everything that happened in your past life, it holds wisdom to help you in this lifetime. But if we all had access to that amount of knowledge, there wouldn't be this ancient intelligence that has been digitized, because we are that. We hold all that information. Some of us in past lives were master herbalists. And this, one of the strange ways that shows up is that you end up with some type of fucking sickness. Long COVID. You just keep having shit upset your stomach and you don't know why. You keep having headaches. You're like, what the hell is going on with me? I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do. That's a past life knocking, saying you're supposed to be focusing on how to heal. You were a master herbalist. You lost your life. You healed a king of a country, and that other king did not want him to survive because he wanted to steal resources from that king. He was poisoning him. That king called for you. You healed that king. Then their whole entire country did not get the resources that they wanted because of you, and you lost your life because of it. So guess what? You come into this incarnation, you completely forget about all of that happened in that past life, and you start all over again. Am I making sense to y'all? Y'all let me know in the chat. Like, is this making sense? Do this feel like this is something that you've always known deep inside, but maybe you couldn't find the words for it? Okay. Is this making sense? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Ashe. So what happens is people that have past lives like us who are sensitive to energy, it's because of the work that we was doing in past lives. That's why we're sensitive to energy. It's not just because of the trauma. Trauma does make your nervous system more hyper vigilant. It does. You're always scanning for the next threat, for the next shoe to fall. You're trying to make sure shit okay. You're trying to make sure everybody good. You know, I know for me personally, hypervigilance is like, that's something that I've mastered. I know what's going on with everybody that I care about at all times. Like, I know what's happening. If they get sick and go to the hospital, I know it before they do. If they start having health issues, I know it before they do. If they start whatever it is, like, and it can be overwhelming because you have to know, okay, well, how do I hack my biology so that my biology is not always tethered to what's happening to the people that I care about? Because that shit is exhausting. And this is why I deal with chronic fatigue. But it was through chronic fatigue that I figured that out. And it's all connected to past lives. I have not heard nobody in the spiritual community talk about this and make it make sense and show people how this show up in your everyday life. So I hope that y'all are appreciating this, because this is that type of knowledge that you don't hear, even though it's probably 1 million people doing spiritual shit now. And I don't hear anybody connect these dots like this. And most of the time when you hear conversations about past lives, you got to pay a couple of grand to get access to that person. Y'all, and if you all ever looked into it, you know what I'm saying is the truth. Okay? I'm giving y'all a lot of this for free. Now, I have cleared a lot of karmic debt through doing things for free and making things low price so that people can access them, because I want us to win. I want us to win. I do. I don't have a jealous, envious bone in my body. I sincerely want people to win. I have people who have been clients of mine that have booked sessions with me that are doing way better than me in life. And I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of them and so fucking happy for them. This is the type of energy that I hold myself accountable to move in. Otherwise, the Akashic Records is going to close. You have to be a pure heart to have access to the Akashic Record, which is a library that holds information of everything that has happened and all the things that haven't happened yet. And it also holds the void, which is the potentiality of the things that happen. And I'm channeling y'all right now the potentiality of what's happening. So if anything in life is challenging you, whether it's emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, financial, relational, that's a big one that's happening for a lot of us right now. It's being triggered because of past life shit. So I made a video about this, and I'll say this really quickly, and I have given y'all way more minutes than I said that I was, but I'm gonna give a little bit more. All right, and then after that, I'll go back into my cocoon and take care of myself. It takes a lot of energy for me to channel the Akashic Records to a collective of people like this. All right. But I appreciate y'all for being here as well. And I don't want to make y'all feel like y'all hit that like. And, you know, I don't like all the pressure. Like, I feel enough fucking pressure, like, in my day-to-day life. Like, don't make me feel any more pressure than I have to. So I just allow people to give as they feel, you know. And my Cash App is here too. It's Remnants Gathering. If you want to send a donation, I appreciate that. You know, I'm not going to even sit here and act like I'm the wealthiest person in the world, because I'm not. But I will say this before I say this. No matter what part of your life you want to heal, accessing your past lives, that's the hack. That's the game changer. That's when you flip the fucking whole chessboard over. It's no more making moves without clarity and confusion and being unsure. You start knowing who the fuck you are. And the more that you access your authentic frequency and unlock the so-called junk DNA, which is really your immortality. It's you across every timeline that you have ever experienced, and the ones that haven't even happened yet. We're creating future timelines. Future versions of yourself are already existing simultaneously. And we can call that version of ourselves and anchor it into the present moment through the heart chakra. It cannot be done with any other chakra. It has to be the heart chakra that magnetizes. The heart chakra is magnetic. It will magnetize that information. It will magnetize that version of you. It will magnetize, well, what rituals do you need? Okay, this person said a spiritual bath worked for them, but that may not be what works for you. It might be some shit that you ain't never heard nobody talk about that works for you. And sometimes we accidentally stumble on those things. Okay. And when you start investing energy into it, things start to work out for you. And this is what I have found to be true for me. Now, I'm also somebody who has flatlined twice, left my body, and watched them resuscitate me. Okay. And in that experience, because of that, my DNA was restructured. When I left my body and came back, I was already psychic as fuck. But after that happened to me the second time, something shifted in me, and all of those videos are on my old YouTube channel. It's called Untamed Souls 44. Y'all can go all the way back to 2006 and see me when I was chubby, when I was pregnant, when I was going through organ failure, so my whole body had blew up. And doctors was gaslighting me and telling me that I wasn't having organ failure, and I knew that I was because the gifts had turned on, and so I could look inside of my body and see what was wrong with my body. That's a whole other story, but I saved my own life many times because I was able to diagnose myself. Okay. I have sickle cell and a lot of other things, but that's just one of the things. But that was all a part of my purpose. Yes, baby. What you need? I'm almost done. So what you can do is exactly what you can do while CERN is shut off. Tune into yourself. Tap into my information, my videos, my music, my ebooks, my courses, my Patreon. Those 6 things you could do now. A lot of it for free. Get you some dowsing rods. Get you some benzoin resin. Learn how to use smoke to clear your space. Learn how to use smoke to send your prayers, your petitions to the ancestors, to the Great Mother, whatever higher spiritual source you feel a connection to. It is important that we do these things because as this past life information is coming back to us, we're going to be put in a position where we're going to have to do something that we probably have never done before, or we're probably afraid to do, or don't feel like we're good enough or smart enough to do it. The time of initiations only through priests and babalaos and all of that is starting to shift. Okay? So these are some things that I already have that can help y'all. The past life readings, I'm going to make that available to my people that are in the coven with me first. If you're interested in that, reach out to me and let me know. Just drop me a message. Like I said, my family is number one for me. It's so important that I break generational curses and how I show up. So, y'all, I be like doing homemade recipes every day, like doing stuff to make sure we're eating healthy. Like I have to break these generational curses by any means necessary. It has to be done. I want it to end with me. And if you're like that, and you probably are, especially if you stay with me until the end of this, you probably are. So all of those links are going to be up above where you can find me. For those in the coven, if you want one, let me know. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you 50% of that service for free, just for being a part of my coven. And that's only for women.